Hello, hello. Hey, we're live. How about that? All right. So, I told you guys I was going to do a live today on not listening to anybody. And so, had a great consultation meeting this morning, and these guys have been in the business for a long time. But it's not really about them. But one of the things that came out in that conversation is what I see a lot with investors of I should. I should be doing it this way. I should create X, Y, and Z. I should be sending out 1,000 text messages a day. I should be making cold calls nonstop for 4 hours. I should be doing all this stuff. And what happens is we learn that stuff. We learn these shoulds. We take on these shoulds by listening to other people, listening to content, listening to programs, listening to all this stuff. And there's nothing wrong. And I've said it numerous times. There's nothing wrong with the programs. There's nothing wrong with mentors. Like, there are amazing mentors out there, coaches, all of that. Like, the point of this is about not listening to anybody else. It's listening to yourself, listening to your gut, listening to your emotions, listening to the feelings that you have of, hey, does this really align with who I want to be in my business? Is this how I want to operate? If you're designed to talk to people and you're setting up your systems in a way that is just fully automated and you don't talk to people, you're going to feel out of integrity. You're going to feel incongruent. You're not going to execute it the way that you want, and then you're not going to know why. And then what ultimately ends up happening is you're not feeling fulfilled, and then you'll either sabotage it or it won't be successful the way it needs to be. All of that. So the whole point of this live of who do you listen to, regardless of the person outside of yourself that you listen to, what's the most important for forging your own path, especially in real estate and doing it your way and executing and building that business, is listening to yourself, listening to the information that comes in and filtering it through how you want to live your designed business and life. And so what ultimately ends up happening when you start putting it through that filter, you can take on what works and what resonates with you and what you'll be able to execute at your level. And maybe you pick up something that you execute later. Who knows? But filtering it through that system is different than seeing a program or a product or a coach or a mentor or somebody that really is being successful in their zone and thinking, well, take it as an example, as a model of what can be done, and then take what works for you and then leave what doesn't, and filter it through that. So it requires you to know yourself. It requires you to be okay not taking on things. And it's cool to try things out, but you'll know pretty quickly whether or not, hey, this is just something I need to get comfortable with because I'm uncomfortable now and it's something I want to do, or this is torture and I'm going to force myself to do it because I'm supposed to do it because somebody told me it was the right thing to do. So it's very important who you listen to, but the first person you need to listen to is yourself. Bet on yourself, listen to yourself, filter everything you take through your what works for you, what resonates with you, how you want to operate your business. But you got to know yourself, and you got to know what works for you. You got to know what doesn't work for you. You got to know what you're willing, who you used to be that you're willing to give up, and what you ultimately want on the back end. And that's where your power starts coming from. That's where your authenticity, that's where your integrity, that's where being and honoring yourself, however you operate. It may be community wise. It may be just betting on yourself all the time. Like Mark Cuban, his book, Bet on Yourself. Like, there's systems people. We are designed a billion different ways, 7.1 billion or whatever the number is now, 7 billion different ways, right? And what that means is the only way that is really going to work for you is the way that works for you. And it's just a matter of finding that path and having the faith and having the courage to actually forge that path and go on it. So you can pick up all that information as you go through, listen to people, but filter it through what works, what doesn't work, and then release all the other judgments about what I should be doing because I heard this was the cool thing to do, or this guy was successful doing this, or this woman was successful doing this. Let go of those judgments. Just say to yourself, okay, I get it. That's not something I want to do. and then forge your path and move forward. So thank you guys. That's it. That's what I got for today. I will continue putting some stuff out there, some content, some good conversations today. So I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon.